Why Warren Buffett is the richest man in the world. What if the richest man in the world didn't act rich at all? No private islands, no flashy lifestyle, no obsession with showing off, just patience, discipline, and a strategy so simple that most people ignore it. This is the story of Warren Buffett and the real reasons he built one of the greatest fortunes in history. But here's the uncomfortable truth. It's not what he did that's impressive. It's what he refused to do. Warren Buffett was born in 1930, in the middle of the Great Depression. Money was scarce. Opportunities were limited. But instead of seeing that as a disadvantage, he became obsessed with understanding how money works. At 11 years old, he bought his first stock. At 13, he filed his first tax return. While everyone else was living life normally, he was studying numbers, businesses, and patterns most people never notice. He wasn't chasing fast money, he was learning how to build something that lasts. And that leads to the first rule: time is the real weapon. Buffett didn't get rich quickly. In fact, for a long time he was just doing well. By the age of 30, he had around $1 million. Good, but not extraordinary. Then something changed. Not his strategy, not his intelligence. Time. As the years passed, his money started growing faster and faster, almost like it had a life of its own. This is compound interest. Money making money. And then that money making even more money. Most people destroy this process. They jump in and out. They panic. They chase trends. They reset their progress again and again. Buffett didn't. He stayed in the game. But time alone isn't enough, because if you choose the wrong investments, time will work against you. That's where the second rule comes in. Only invest in what you understand. In the late 1990s, the entire world was chasing tech stocks. Everyone was getting rich, fast. Except Buffett. People laughed at him. They said he was outdated. They said he didn't understand the future. Then the crash came. Billions disappeared. And Buffett, he barely felt it. Because he didn't invest in hype. He invested in businesses he could understand, simple companies, predictable products, strong fundamentals. While others were gambling, he was calculating. But even if you understand what you're doing, you can still fail. Because the biggest enemy in investing isn't the market. It's your emotions, fear, greed, panic. This is where most people lose everything. When prices drop, they panic and sell. When prices rise, they chase and buy too late. Buffett does the opposite. When others are afraid, he looks for opportunity. During the 2008 financial crisis, while the world was collapsing, Buffett was buying. Not blindly, but confidently. And when the market recovered, he made billions. Not because he predicted the future, but because he controlled himself. Still, even that isn't enough, because one mistake, one bad decision, can erase years of progress. That's why Buffett follows a rule that sounds simple, but is brutally difficult. Never lose money, not literally, but strategically. He avoids big risks. He avoids businesses he doesn't trust. He avoids situations where the downside is massive. He's not trying to win big in one move. He's trying to never lose big. Because in this game, survival is everything. And yet, even after all of this, there's one rule that separates him from almost everyone else. He thinks long term. Buffett doesn't care about what happens tomorrow or next week or even next year. He thinks in decades. He once said his favorite holding period is forever. While people chase quick profits, he builds lasting wealth. He invests in companies he believes will still exist and dominate years from now. That's why his biggest wins didn't happen overnight. They happened slowly, quietly, over time, and eventually they became unstoppable. So why is Warren Buffett the richest man in the world? Not because he's chasing money harder than everyone else, but because he plays a completely different game, a slower game, a smarter game, a game built on patience, discipline, and control. If there's one thing to take from this, it's this: start early, stay consistent, think long term. Because wealth isn't built in moments, it's built over time. And if you ignore that, you'll spend your life starting over. If you understand it, you won't need luck. You'll have something better, a system that works.